So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about a brand new game book I just got called Operation CanCon. And the designer is Derek Schreiner. And it's kind of exciting because we're in a moment now in Canada when we're under threat by the US, who is threatened to destroy us economically, so we become the 51st state. I know this designer actually wrote this in response. So it is a celebration of Canadian culture. And I'm getting a lot of despair lately, getting a lot of online comments about people saying Canada's not a real country, which is shades of, Russia and its early work on the Ukrainian people, letting them know that they thought they weren't a real country. The same playbook is running here. And Canadian culture, of course, is rich and wonderful. I used to run with Derek, actually, a site called Geek vs. Goth, which was all about Canadian content and celebrating it. So I was super pleased to get this brand new galley proof of this brand new game book, which is now available for sale on Amazon. And I'm super excited to share it with you all because it is this fantastic celebration of Canadian culture, and it is a really remarkable book, and it makes me really proud to be Canadian. So you can see right here, this is Operation CanCon. It's a Canadian 80s music shopping game book, and I figure if Geek Gamer has a crochet thing, I'm going to use my little antler stick here to indicate what's going on in this book. So you can see the cover here. This is actually an illustration, if you can see that. It's really cool. It's the strip in downtown Toronto. And you can see here the Sam the Record Man store front, the 80s cars here in the background. It's an illustration. It's amazing. And it's from the City of Toronto Archives. And this treatment here basically kind of conveys the tone of the book, because it is about an apocalyptic situation. Canadian culture is being lost. You journey in a choose-your-own-adventure style game through this book, through a protagonist who has had an injury, and hears a voice in his head telling him to go and get aspects of Canadian culture, in this case, 80s music, songs in particular, and go shopping for them to preserve Canadian culture. So it's a really, really cool game. And you can see right here, it's just a game book. It just requires 3 dice. Okay, so I picked my most Canadian looking Chessex dice. And you just need 3 dice and a writing implement. Okay, that's how you play this game. And it's really, really cool because you step through this process with the protagonist who has had a bike accident, which is very Toronto, and you're working through, and he's, dealing with his family, he's dealing with his friends, his Walkman got destroyed, and you're going down the Yonge Street record store strip, and you're shopping for physical media. So it's got a lot of things that I like, the nostalgia, Gen Xer. I did this. I walked up and down Yonge Street looking for records back in the day. And it is a really, really, and there's so many Canadian Easter eggs in this, you guys. There's so much interesting stuff. These are stores that don't exist anymore. And there's such an incredibly great capture of what those stores were like, what they felt like, what they smelled like, what they look like. It is really cool, and there's so much Canadiana, so many little details, and that's actually part of a metagame in the game where you can actually collect all of these cool Canadian moments. It is so super cool. And I'm just going to show you a couple aspects of the game book. I highly, highly recommend this. So, for example, and at the very back, you can see there is a great metagame where it's like, how many Canadian experiences did you get? And there's also a really cool checklist of different songs. You can even customize this list if you feel strongly that you want different songs in this area, but there are all these cool 80s hits. And as you roll the dice, you can actually sort of play almost a lottery in this game book. A little out of focus here, you can see things like Harlequin, Innocence, Honeymoon Suite, Feel It Again, idolize, and you go shopping for these songs. And as you go through each of these stores playing this game, even discount bin diving, or shopping through the stores and finding what you need in terms of preservation of these songs, you can then and you've got all these other checklists right here. You've got this blank checklist, which is really super awesome, and you can make your own if you want. There's also another aspect ratio of the checklist for the songs. And you want to capture all of the songs that you've identified as part of the game that you want to preserve. And there's just, again, that fantastic story in a choose your own adventure format as well. It's a fun and easy game to play. It is filled with Canadian Easter eggs, and I really, really highly recommend this. It's available right now, just yesterday, for a very special price on Amazon. And I just think it is like this fantastic celebration of Canadian culture. I just wanted to spend a few minutes sharing this with you. We just got the copies, and I am so excited to dig into this. So this was my first initial look of Operation CanCon. It feels really timely right now, you guys, because Canada is in a moment of feeling very threatened by US incursions, economic pressures, the layoffs from Trump's tariff war have already started, unfortunately, in Canada. This feels like a very urgent moment to celebrate Canadian culture, and this game book does exactly that in a fun, easy way. If you've never played a game book before, this is a great starter book. It's got a lot going for it in terms of ease of play. It is a casual game. You can stop and restart it at any time, and it's fun to just tour around downtown Toronto on Yonge Street and relive all those memories. It's been very trippy reading it myself, and I really highly recommend this book. So do check this out, Operation CanCon, the Canadian 80s game book shopping experience by Derek Schreiner. Check it out.